Hi there, it's Nick.
Hi from Martin.
And today we are going to assess property on Bishopsgarth Close. That is 15, number 15 Bishopsgarth Close. And let's get into it. So it's all go, go, go today. We're going to share a screen and dive right in, as they say. All right, let's get the property details up. Here we go. And it's a relatively modern building. I assume 99. This is 2099. Yeah. And it's got original kitchen, original hob, all of that. Gas. Yeah. So it's freehold.
EPC
Great.
Expired, but basically the owner need to make a new one, so don't worry about it.
This is the kind of property that needs virtually no work at all. It'll need a general freshen up probably, but it's just an economy, property. That pedestal is a bit off, but anyway, it's just your classic economy house for moderate money. But the thing that makes this work is that it's fundamentally good condition and good layout. The big family room, you can see here, and then you've got the kitchen off. So if we have a look at that, you can see that it's small kitchen, but then you've got a nice large family room with its staircase out of the way. And you've got 3 reasonably sized bedrooms. I'd say that's a very small double and that's a single. And obviously you've got a larger double with some space out the back. So I'm just going to go back into this again. You can see here, nice enough landing. Obviously macro lens, so wide angle lens, should I say, but that landing is big enough to stick that cupboard in there, so that's something. The main bedroom, again, all looking fine, nothing much to say. There's your double. It's got the furniture in. That actually works quite well. Yep, that's
it's a small property, but nice one. So.
Yeah. Well, you're compromising because you got the bed up against the side there, but anyway, it's what it is, and a single room there.
Yeah, you can fit a single bed there, based on the floor plan.
I would say this doesn't need much updating. Maybe you got a bit of a slope in the garden, which makes the garden a bit useless, but and also that decking, the rear decking is looking a bit shaky. Some of those bits of wood are all over the place.
Yeah, I think. It will need like 5K to renovate, upgrade.
Yeah, I think that's a good assessment actually. And let's have a look at the footage and
it's only
the video footage.
This property is small.
So I'm going to open up the pictures and then we'll leaf through them. We've got a gas meter and probably an electricity meter in there. That's a reasonably modern boiler. I say reasonably. 10, 15 years old, maybe even at the same age as the house, but don't know. The EPC is good for telling us about boilers and so on. They obviously shredded the overgrown garden and so the grass is rather messy looking. We've got a nice little garage. That's quite a helpful thing to own. And it's in reasonable condition. Front is tidier. Okay, let's open a video up, see what's going on inside. The thing with these kind of houses is they are economy built, as I said. They're a bit lightweight, so the walls are a bit thin. It'll be stud partition mostly throughout, but everything's flat. It doesn't have a century of paint on it. It's all tidy. It's I didn't know that the thing about memories is actually to make them. Now I know. That's great. And here we go. Yeah, that floor is decent as well. Actually, that's a good floor. Reason you know that is it's got the little grooves in it between it. So I know that that's non-economy. It's kind of one up from economy, which is good. And you got the double doors out the back. Nice.
It's needs painting one wall because it has some like letters on it. So.
Yeah, well, that could be removed, or you could leave it there. It's quite motivating. Nice flooring, by the way. The reason I'm dwelling upon the flooring if the flooring's gone, you've got to do new flooring, and it's a lot of hassle getting laminate flooring sorted out at the moment, just because of tradespeople and cost of flooring, which has gone up just massively. That all looks fairly tidy.
Yeah, I think 5K will be the maximum renovation, maybe.
Yeah, it's a general paint and decorate. But even then, arguably, it's okay. If you really wanted to just buy and rent and not even renovate, you could probably get away with it. Yeah, so I'm glad he's just dwelling on. There's some little bits and bobs of that with those doors, but they look like solid wood doors, which is good. Economy counter, that sort of plasticky Formica stuff, not very attractive, but I think that's wood. It's difficult to judge. I'm not sure. I can't tell for sure. I think it is wood, actually. The reason, when I look at the shadow, the light shadow there, I can see the grooves of the wood. So I think that is wood. Where I'm going with all of this is a couple of these doors are a bit damaged. In the corner there, this one. And if it is actual wood, then that's repairable. That looks like vinyl, probably. I'd be surprised if it's tile. Again, difficult to see because of the low resolution. And therefore, as ever, when we do these assessments, we're adding up different bits of information. Nice to see the downstairs lavatory, actually. Now that's a bonus.
Yeah,
I did.
Usually
Yeah,
the new builds always have that, so
yeah,
that's great.
It's a nice feature. For some reason, I thought that was the upstairs lavatory in the photographs, but of course it's downstairs. Great, lovely bonus. Very good. Flooring is a bit so-so, and the pedestal's a bit so-so, but hey, that can all be fixed. It's just minor repairs and so on. I think that's a slow close lavatory. And yeah, so with this, what I'd be inclined to do is not change the flooring, but get a handy person in to shove the existing flooring across so it's tight, and then put some kind of a shim in to tighten up the flooring, and then it'll look fine. There's no point really, there's no major point in just redoing the whole floor. You could, I suppose, but it's just hassle. And what you're trying to do, as ever with these things, is minimize the amount of tradespeople involved, just so that you can make your life easier, get it all done quicker. That fascia board's good, the roof looks good. It's built with, so there's that garage, obviously, plus a shed. That's a bonus. It's a small garden, but it's a garden full of covered space, let's say. It's a small abuse. How do I put it? That's not a useful garden overall because it's sloping down. So if it was me, well, you got the decking here. Okay, I'm just listening to the guy, listening to the audio, seeing if he's complaining about things falling down.
But it's okay, I think.
It is okay.
In the garden, it's okay.
I think it needs a little bit of landscaping, but nothing much. And I think they must have replaced one of those doors, because you got the old one around the side, so they would have put a new panel in, or glazing panel in. That's good. All right, that's all looking nice. Nice enough. There's the exterior, obviously. That front fascia board needs painting and decorating. It's not a big deal, just needs to be done. It's somebody up with a ladder, probably. It might need scaffolding, maybe, but even that is just a tower scaffolding, so it's very straightforward to deal with. Very quiet location as well. Not going to dwell too long about.
It's quiet, but central.
Yeah, so the outside fascia board. Yeah, that needs a bit of work. But again, nothing major. This house doesn't need any serious work for at least 20 years more or more.
Yeah.
I'd say even 30 years. It obviously needs maintenance, but nothing major.
Yeah, correct. well, yeah.
And you know why Martin is emphatic about this? Because he's a qualified surveyor, so he knows these things.
Maybe the carpets are a little bit not updated. They are like 20 years old.
Yeah,
but
and old ironmongery. But people don't care. They care that it's warm, it's dry, and it can accommodate a family, and you can look out the windows and it's
and
safe.
they care about to be color to be neutral, to not be like a light pink or I don't know.
This is a great buy-to-let property.
Yeah,
hopefully the yield will work out.
And I think the asking price is 150. I think 156 will buy this property because they're expecting because they set guide price for 150 to 155.
Yeah,
but
the silicon needs redoing on the bath, obviously.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
but
I think
just
so that's why I said like 5-6 maybe K will renovate this property.
That'll really bring it up. I think you could get away with, well, it depends. If you extensively repaint, yes. Great. Okay. All right, we're all looking good. How's that? Oh, okay, you've got a thing. Now, you might replace the boiler with a combi boiler. You've got this thing, that's just covered space, as it were. That's an immersion heater. So this is a system which is a kind of combination system. So you have hot water in here, heated by an electric element, and then you've got the gas. Who knows? I don't know. But the point is, it's all looking tidy. I didn't see there's the fuse board. Let's have a look at that. Yes, great. We've got a modern RCD, so that should pass modern regs. So that's good. Yeah. All right, let's get on with the next thing, which is the capital growth and the crime and all of that. See, Martin didn't even say what about the crime. Why? Because there's virtually none. That's why. There's a little bit of crime, but it's pretty low.
All this is a new build. All this is like a neighborhood, and it's lovely. So
it's very quiet around here.
Yeah.
And it's lovely. You got this wonderful green space. Lovely.
Yeah. I want to add after I will add the location.
Very good demographic.
Yeah. Usually in the new builds you have good people.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, it's because it's new build. I said, no, it's good solid. It's kind of middle class demographic. It's not higher middle class, just middle. Good. Let's look at the growth. And the growth is based on this patch here, the average of that patch, and
it's really good.
Yeah, it's just so the thing, this little patch tailed off a little bit last year, post-COVID. Overall, though, it's up 12% in real terms since 2018. That's okay. It is way below 2007 numbers, and that's interesting. Okay, but it didn't crash. In the last crash, it certainly didn't crash. So this is a very interesting combination. If it's way below the 2007 high, it means it's not overbought, relatively speaking. If it didn't crash then, it's unlikely to crash now. Why? Because it's still affordable. This is a nice, affordable area. This is good. Let's zoom out a little bit and have a look at the overall DN5 postcode and see what's going on there. Yeah, it's been good, solid growth. Obviously, it's slightly below inflation. We've had something like 11%. I mean, officially it's 8%, but I call it 11 because I'm being pessimistic. Yeah, it's had good, solid long-term growth. So the bottom line with this property is it's a very good store of value for a bunch of reasons, which I'm going to articulate in this video when I talk about all these numbers another time. This is good. It's a good central area. Over to you, Martin.
I will share my screen now. First, let's talk about 67 meters square, 99 freehold, purchased for 96,000.
Small but great usable space.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to have 67 meters square than 80 if the layout is bad. So Depends on the layout of the floor plan. The PCSD is expired, but the owner must make a new one. So, but it can be easily see what for EPCC, what you need to low lighting energy and heating control thermostat you need to replace, and maybe the boiler, as we said, like 3,000 to make a combo boiler.
But this, the fundamentals of this house are great because it's a modern house. It's cavity wall plus proper insulation in the cavity. So it's very thermally efficient.
And flooding, river resistance very low, surface water very low. There is a risk with reservoir, but I will show this is area in Doncaster when there is also flooding from rivers. So basically, if then you will have chance to have reservoir, but that's really low. If it was in the blue for reservoir, then it will be hard thing to take insurance, but basically here when
so can we just go back? I'm a bit confused. Can we go back to the other map? So you've got the reservoir risk.
Yes.
So what's it saying? If you have a combination of flooding and you've got the reservoir collapsing, then there's a problem.
Yes, because when rivers levels are normal, you have chance here. But when the are not normal, then you have chance here.
Okay,
but
can you just dig out could you just show us the map for the normal flooding?
Basically, it's none. See.
Oh, I see. Yeah, got it. Okay, great. All right, so the reservoir risk is an outlier risk. We had a property similar situation. I think the premium was something like £250 extra to cover reservoir risk if you were insuring. So it's an extra cost, but as Martin points out, this is it's in a good spot. It's that little river. So Doncaster is generally kind of flood prone as a general thing.
Yes, we had an issue here with one terrace house. Here and the basement was full, but here this part it was flooding all the time. But this is normal, typical, and if you have basement usually in Doncaster, then don't use to cover to put anything what it can be damaged by water, because that's normal in Doncaster. But here you don't have basement, so everything's fine. So that's like a point. And also for the location, it's really nice, really close to Shell, but far away for the mortgage problem. Also really close to the supermarkets here, and
that's
also
really
one more get also to the like a highway, but far away from the noise.
Wow, that's so convenient. And if you really wanted to, you could cut through the green space.
And also you're really close to Doncaster.
That's so central, isn't it?
Even by walking. So,
okay, well, this makes it all very interesting. The fact that you don't have the flood risk, but you have the location, that's great.
Yeah, and I think people avoid this location because this side of the houses have flood risk, this not. So, so this can be covered by insurance. So this is like and when you zoom on this, when you go to the street, you can see that it's a little bit sloppy. And basically it's on this side and on this side. So basically you're on the in the middle. So basically if you
just go back, is the property elevated? Can you just see if it's slightly above ground level?
Yeah, so
I see what you mean, that on the other side, the
on both sides,
yeah. But is that property slightly okay? So it's elevated by about 300 millimeters or something like that.
Wait, just to see the number. This is 15, and we need to go for 14.
I do like these kind of houses. They're just nice. They're like a McDonald's Big Mac of houses. They're totally standard. You know exactly what you're getting. They're nice to live in, low crime, nice positioning, all that. Nothing to write home about as such, but just a very pleasant accommodation.
Yeah, this one is the property. Yes.
And that's the thing with good buy-to-let. You're buying.
You can see how much you need to float, like 3 bricks, 4 bricks. So that's like 30 centimeters, even more.
Yeah, that's fine.
So it's safe. They know it, so that's why they build a house. If there was a risk, they will not build a house here.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
So also The garden is small, but still good. They make a garage storage. So basically,
yeah, I think it's a good compromise because it's better to have the covered space and all of that.
yes, correct. So basically, the location is really nice. So let's go to the comparables. Sorry. When you go for rent, I will go semi-attached and maybe on the stairs.
There's so much of this kind of property in Doncaster as well, which is good. It's like
but
good housing stock.
Yeah,
but just overall the housing stock's nice. 725, there you go.
Wait. Think more. Yeah, 725. But I think 750 will be the rent. But okay, let's say 725. So yep. Why I think that when I checked it was more. Okay, let's assume. Yeah, let's assume 725.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and what about the purchase cost?
Because I was thinking, just because you can see that this one is 750 and it's a terrace, 750 older house.
Yeah, but it might just be a more fancy location or something like that.
Yeah, but this 695.
This is kind of the McDonald's house. It's the plain, not very. It's the kind of house that you don't shout about, but actually you would live very comfortably in. It's not prestigious, that's the point, but it's actually rather good, just like a Big Mac.
725. Okay, let's assume. But I think 750 will be the rent up till the completion and all the work. So.
Well, the question then is the market heating up in rental market heating in Doncaster? I don't know. Okay, so we've got one offer.
They said that for the in the guidance, because there is not a lot of viewings.
It's 150 to 155, wasn't it?
I think 156 you take in the property. I
agree, and I think that's a very sensible thing to do.
Yeah, just like 1K will not change anything, and you take it and go for it.
So on the renovation, what would you put into it?
As we said, like the boiler is just 2,500 changes, and plus some decoration, I think 6, like the max.
Yeah, and then it doesn't need any work for 30 years. It might need occasional painting and decorating once in a while, but basically nothing to speak of. How much do I think? I think it's going to grow. Oddly enough, I think places like Doncaster are going to grow medium aggressively. So over the next 2 to 3 years, I do see kind of 10% maybe. But I don't see it crashing much because it's still really affordable. So it might drop 5%, something, oops, -5. Yeah, so the idea being that property markets work in cycles. We're in the boom phase. We're entering the winner's curse phase. And therefore, it's just a question of, will you come out top when the market crashes? And then will you be okay thereafter in the flat line? And I'm doing a big video on all of this, the effect of inflation and capital growth and all of that for the forthcoming cycle, which I will share once I've done the video. I've had one go at it already, and it's a hard one to do because there's a lot going on. Okay, 5.4 gross rentable, very sound.
But 725 is the minimum, so I think it will run more. But it's okay.
Yeah, so it's circa 5, but yeah, somewhere around the 5.4 mark there.
But for new builds, that's common thing.
Yeah. And as I say, it's just nice, tidy house. Okay, condition, very good. Yeah. I would say it gets a 4. Now, sometimes houses are just exceptionally 4.2. Some houses are just exceptionally laid out, well done, etc. This is a good modern house. It gets a good score. Condition isn't just like, does it need repainting? Well, it does. But is it fundamentally well organized, nicely done, nice to live in property, space well used? Yes, it is. Location, exceptional.
Yeah, for the 2.
Area?
Good. Also for the 2.
Yeah. Crime?
4.
4.
It's good. Not
demographic, not the best. It's a kind of a 3.9. It's good. good, but not bad. It's just not great. Capital growth, it's the same kind of story. It's a 3.8. It's not outstanding, but
yes,
the difference
the
is the difference is that if you were bidding for this property in Manchester, it would have just gone, and then you'd be left with nothing. And so what we're seeing, okay, so that gets a 3 point near. That's near our average. So our average is 3.96. It's very close to the wire. It's just the reason it gets a low ranking is because properties that make it this far are good. We are very fussy about having good properties to be assessed. So as long as it's somewhere like 3.8 to 4.2 or something, it's just in the zone. It's fine. It's in the zone. It has its issues, but it's in the zone. All right. So in summary, then, it's a perfectly nice little house, nice little renter. Will hold its value in the down times because demographically it's fine. Yeah.
And I want to share my screen.
And actually, you'll have a chance of actually owning the property. That's the big point, because the market is just sensible in Doncaster.
And you can see on the same street, advertised in May, 155, this 150, and it's the same type of property. So
yeah,
I think it's worth 156 to take it, to own it.
Yeah.
So that's my advice.
Good. All right.
So yeah,
there it is. All right. So yeah, and finally, I'm just going to hark on make a point. The thing is, if this was in Manchester, the competition would be intense. You wouldn't have a chance. But where it is, if you're making an offer without cash, so in Manchester, what we're seeing is these cheaper properties are being bought with cash now. So previously they'd be bought with mortgage finance, but the heat is on, and vendors like cash offers because they're safer, and there's an awful lot of cash buying going on around Manchester at the moment, but less so in places like Doncaster. So just, it's what I expect. There's a displacement from Manchester into these other markets. As a consequence, capital gain will occur. So you will see places like this get hotter and hotter over time, but we're just on the right edge of the fence, as it were, where mortgage buy on a property like this is a serious chance. Okay, there it is. Thank you very much.
Thank you.